All right, welcome back, everybody. Here we go. It's the wrap up. Uh, for those of you who have watched all the videos, thank you so much for following along all year, staying with it. This is our season wrap up. I'll go through where everybody finished, kind of go over some fun stats for the year, show the standings, show what the draft order will be. I'll go over those changes that I mentioned in our wrap-up email. And then there was some historical data I thought was kind of cool that I would show. And then I will go over my picks. How did I do for the year overall? That kind of stuff. So I might as well hop right in. We'll start off here with who won. And congratulations goes to Dallas. Dallas gets to house, I said it again, house this bad boy for the next year. I'll take the trophy tag in and your name will be on this side right below Dave. Like I said, we're slowly starting to get it all filled up. So after this year, we only got 6 more years left. We'll decide if we want to continue the league, maybe get another layer put on. I want to talk to the trophy store about that as we get closer to. Maybe we can do something like that. But Dallas, this will be yours. And congratulations again. Next in second place, we had Tom. As I said in the email, a couple injuries there didn't help you out. Dallas still won by like 70 points. So I don't know if that would have been enough. And then third place goes to Dave. Dave continues to rack up those Yahoo trophies in our league, as well as our actual trophy. And gets third place and gets a little bit of money back there as well. So, so as you can see on your screen, it shows there Dallas, Tom, and then Dave, followed by Rob ending up finishing in 4th. The buddies are in 5th and get to pick their draft spot. Jeremy finished in 6th. Ty finished in 7th. So he won the regular season but finished in 7th. So he does get his $100 back for finishing 1st overall in the regular season. So not too bad. Puts him in the middle there for drafting. Richard lost in the last week. So he ended up in the season losing the last 2 regular season plus all 3 playoff weeks. I was in 9th, Wayne was in 10th, Jen 11th, and Sunil finished down in 12th. So that's how it finished up for the year. Some cool stats I thought that played out. Dallas ended up being our points for champion. Ended up getting ahead of Jeremy there by 5 points at the end of the year. So congratulations to him to add to his big trophy. The least amount of points for goes to our last place guy in Sunil, so I guess that's kind of fitting. Least amount of points gets you the lowest spot. I was looking at the points against. Rob had the least amount of points against at 2,009 points. And then Wayne, he got the beat down. He had the most points for at 2,414. So that's like 400 more points than Rob. So maybe that explains the difference in their record there. Seeing as Wayne was up there in points for, only 100 points behind Dallas there, but had, the worst points against. So maybe that was the story of the season for Wayne. But yeah, thought that was something that was kind of neat there for Wayne. With that, as I said, that's their standing. So what that means for our draft picks is, as I said, ninth place finisher gets to pick their gets the first overall draft pick. So that's myself. So I get to pick first overall. So consolation of finishing outside the top 8, I get to pick first overall. And then Wayne, who finished 10th, is second. Jen, who finished in 11th, is third. Sunil, who finished in 12th, then moves to 4th. This kind of helps in a way to prevent tanking. Maybe you do like more the middle of the pack, so if you want to tank for that, that's up to you. But tanking shouldn't get you the first overall pick. So we at least made it competitive in that sense. Next, we have Richard in 5th, Ty in 6th, Jeremy in 7th. The buddies right there are in 8th, but remember they can pick anywhere from 2 to 12th, so I'm sure that'll move. Maybe they'll move up to 2nd. Maybe they like that idea. Maybe they stay towards the middle. Who knows? And then we ended off with Rob in 9th, Dave in 10th, Tom at 11th, and Dallas takes 12th. So, yeah, that's our draft order. Then, what did I say? Oh, yeah, we'll go over the slight changes that I mentioned. One thing in our league has been, as I like to adapt it, make sure we're, not falling behind on trends. I don't want us to get stagnant. But I feel lately our league's really gotten stagnant on player movement, trades, players becoming available. You can listen to how many podcasts and they recommend guys, and then there's somebody, that person's already on somebody's bench. So even though we have the 2 extra flex spots over most leagues, I am going to go back to our 16-player roster. So instead of having 6 bench players, we'll now have 4. That'll open up 24 extra players on our waiver wire that wouldn't have been there before. This also makes it a little bit more challenging come a bye-apocalypse week. It's already, hurt us a few weeks already. I've seen where some guys have had those 5 or 6 players on bye, so now it's going to force players to make some hard decisions. Excuse me. Maybe instead of dropping a guy, you trade a player, make a move like that. I think that's going to maybe open things up. Maybe you look ahead and you go, oh my God, I have 7 players on week 8 bye or week 12 bye or something. And, instead of dropping, maybe you do a 2-for-1 deal or a 2-for-2 deal, make some trades. So that guy doesn't have any bye weeks that week, and, help each other out a little bit. Maybe we'll see some stuff like that happen. So I'm hoping for it. I don't hold my breath. Sometimes, as much as I love our league, I find it's not as active as I would like it to be. But, I know we make lots of moves in terms of, picking up and off the waiver wire, but there's no trades really in our league. So hopefully this will do something about that. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. As for keepers, I explained in the email there how that'll work. I'm not going to go into it here, not to bore anybody who's not in our league who happens to watch this video. But yeah, I sent you all the rules there for what we'll do with that. It's pretty straightforward. It's the same thing we did before when we got rid of kickers in defense. So we're just move it up, change it, you'll see. Yeah. Not much else to talk about there. I sent out all the email transfers. It looks like everyone's received those. I've done that. As I mentioned, the Evil Buddies, Jay and Adam, with their 5th place finish, get to pick anywhere between 2 and 12. So I'll reach out to you guys. Jay, I'll send you a text probably mid-June, maybe early June. We'll see what I got on my plate by that time. Just a reminder for you guys to send me your pick on or by July the 1st. And then once you guys let me know where you're going to draft, I will go in and update Yahoo with the draft order and everything. Speaking of which, whenever Yahoo does their reset, it seems to be getting earlier. It's usually like April now. So I'll go in, do all the scheduling, get all the draft pick stuff set up, draft order done up, all that kind of stuff, so you guys can take a look at it. It's kind of fun sometimes when, fantasy hockey, if you're into that, ends, and then what else do you look at but football, right? I'm sure none of you play fantasy baseball. I think last year was my last year of fantasy baseball. So, yeah, so I know I'll probably be doing some mock drafts early for keeping that app open, but it's just me. Yeah, some of these record book things I wanted to take a look at here. So it goes over, most wins, losses, margin of victory, and some other things. So, this year we had Dallas and Ty. It includes playoffs. Finished the year with 11 wins. The record still goes back to 2013 with Richard, with a total of 14 overall wins. I thought that was pretty good. And then Dallas's longest streak of 7, which is, tie with tie there, which is really good. Still wasn't as good as the Victims, which are the Evil Buddies. Back in 2011, they had 9-game win streak. So, yeah, 7 seems pretty good, but still not quite as good as 9. And, Richard's season there in 2013, I don't know if that was the season he won, was it? Oh, it was the season he won. So that makes sense to his 14 wins. And then losses. This one's ugly for me. Obviously, this year, Sunil had 10 losses. So that was the most. The most all time goes to me with 12. I'll never forget that season. I won week 1 and then lost 12 consecutive weeks in a row. That one hurt. That was a rough season. So that's why the longest streak there is 12. This one I thought was good here. Largest margin of victory went to the Buddies. They beat Ty back in week 16 by 103 points. Largest all time was Richard beating Wayne by 137 points. The smallest margin of victory this year went to Dave over Rob by 1.12 points. But the single lowest all time was last year when Sunil beat me because he had Jerome Ford out when Chubb got hurt and beat me by 0.01 points. So that is the smallest margin of victory of all time. In terms of some team stats, the most points in a single week this year went to Dave when he beat Wayne in week 9. So he put up 242 points. But the single highest of all time goes to Jen when she beat Dave in 2020. And then the lowest week of this year went to Richard, who put up 93 points against Jen. And then the lowest of all time went to Richard in week 16 in 2014 when he put up 0 points. So I'm thinking that was a draft pick strategy, maybe wanting to get a lower pick, sat all his players and took a 0. So that's my guess. I don't know for sure. I didn't go back to look. And then team stats. Is this the one I was looking for? Yeah, this one I thought was neat only because it was broken this year. So in a year, in football is all about passing nowadays. We see more passing than ever. The Buddies, Jay and Adam, broke all the records for rushing. So in week 16, they had the most ever in one single week with 578 yards of rushing. And they now own the record for most rushing yards in a season in our league at 4,700 yards there. So I thought it was really neat. Just, we always talk about being a passing game now, and they just put up the most rushing yards ever in our league. So just some fun things like that I thought were neat. And then, what was the other one here? Or did I go over? No, I think I went over them all that I wanted to. Oh, it even goes into strength of schedule. So I guess it looks like Jeremy had the hardest strength of schedule. And then Rob had the easiest, which we saw as he had the lowest points against. So, yeah, so that was kind of neat there too. So that's it. That's our season. It's all over, done with. Oh, I forgot. I almost didn't go over my statistics. Anyway. Okay. So for my stats, I just wrote it down on paper. I'm not going to post it on the screen there, but, or maybe I will. So my worst week was week 6, where I went 0 for 6. I got all 6 wrong, so that's pretty funny. My 2 best weeks were week 8 and week 14, where I got 5 correct and 1 wrong. I had no perfect week, which is too bad. A lot of 4 and 2s or 2 and 4s, kind of more than anything. And then, the 1 and 6. So I went 39 and 33 overall for 54%. during the regular season, and then in the playoffs, I went 3-1 each week for a 9-3 or 75% winning percentage. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Wish I'd done better during the regular season, but hey, I was over 50%, so I can't complain. Anyway, that's our year. I might throw up some videos in a little bit who I think people will do for early keeper guesses. I don't know, fun stuff like that, like I usually do. So everybody have a great New Year's. Wish you all the best, and we'll talk soon. All right, bye.